아나운서 강민지입니다. 오늘로 단 4회째를 맞은 에이펙스. 벌써부터 분위기가 심상치 않습니다. 현재까지 치러진 경기 모두 아마추어 팀들의 승리로 끝났는데요. 그야말로 놀라움의 연속입니다. 자존심을 되찾아야 하는 프로단과 기세를 타고 승승장구하고 있는 아마추어 팀들, 거기다 다시 불이 붙은 해외 팀들까지 이 3파전 구도가 현재 에이펙스에선 가장 뜨거운 이슈가 아닐까 싶은데요. 벌써부터 온라인에서는 본선 팀들의 순위가 매겨지고 있지만 승자가 정해지기 전까지 에이펙스에선 100% 예측이란 없습니다. 그래서 더욱 흥미진진한 인텔 오버워치 에이펙스 시즌 1 그 첫 번째 경기 지금 시작합니다.
Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1 Round Robin. Today's matchup, Mighty Storm, Envyus.
Guys, welcome. Hey, there we go. Welcome to Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1. I'm Doe with his Monte Cristo, and man, we are starting out with an interesting one today, aren't we? Envyus making their debut, going up against Mighty Storm, who didn't look very good in their first match of the season. In fact, they only got 2 points total in the 3 maps that they lost, so looking for a better performance out of them, but they have got a pretty tough opponent in Envyus. I mean, I think a lot of people could maybe even say Envyus a possible favorite for the whole thing.
I think absolutely you have to say that coming in. Yes, Of course, Envyus famous for getting that 57-match win streak online in the early days of Overwatch. And even though they've come up a little bit short coming into events like Gamescom and the Overwatch Open as favorites in some degree, they only made top 4 at Gamescom, but they did make the finals at the Overwatch Open in Atlanta. So they're offline, their LAN performances are improving, but they're still looking for that elusive first place trophy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they should have, well, on paper anyway, they should have a fairly easy time of it, you think, against Mighty Storm. From what we saw earlier, from some of the VODs you and I have seen online, Mighty Storm just looks like a team that doesn't quite have it all together there mechanically or, team coordination-wise. So we'll see. I mean, then again, we've had a lot of upsets this season, but I don't think this is going to be one of them.
Yeah, I think Envy is coming in, unlike Reunited, who made that roster change. They're coming in with their full roster that they've been running with and living in North Carolina with for some time. And not only that, they've had, 10 days since they got here?
It's been about a week and a half.
Yeah, to practice here against the Korean teams on the Korean server. No jet lag will be an issue. Plenty of time to also observe how their opponent, Mighty Storm, played, considering they already lost a match to Conbox T6 in this group. So got to think they're going to be really well prepared. Got to think they're not going to be tired. Got to think they are 100% ready for this match.
I would think so, yeah. I think that's probably the likely scenario. The second match, LW Blue versus Kongdu Panthera. Kongdu Panthera, of course, going down to Reunited in our match on Wednesday. But now they're going to play Luxury Watch Blue, which is a team that they actually recently 3-0'd in the finals of an online tournament here in Korea. So, if we go by that, they really look like they outclassed LW Blue that time around. That was only maybe about 2 weeks ago or so, 3 weeks ago at this point. Not long ago. On paper, again, seems similar. We'll have to wait until the second match to see if that proves true. Of course, if you've been watching all week, you kind of know the format already. Cool thing about this tournament, we get to see every kind of map represented.
That's right. Starting with a control map. As a note, Ilios has been disabled for tonight due to some, bugs that are happening on the map right now.
Disconnect issues, I guess.
Yeah, some disconnect issues. So we are not going to be seeing Ilios today.
Yep, that's right. We'll be starting out on Nepal for our first best of 5 at least. And, of course, ton of teams in the qualifiers. In fact, the biggest online qualifier ever in the history of OGN tournaments coming into this one. Finally, we're down to the final 16 here in Apex, of course. That'll go after the group stages, the round of 8, semifinals, and the finals. All of them best of 5s except for the grand finals, which will be a best of 7.
And, of course, lots of money here, about $180,000 for the prize pool, and fight money given off about $1,000 for every single match that happens here. So the winners get 80%, losers get 20%. Now, as some of you may be aware, there was an issue with Envy where their prize money has been revoked for today, whether they win or lose, due to some comments that Taimu made in Twitch chat that he has been warned as a player. So that is sort of what's going on today. They will not be receiving any money as a punishment, and a warning has been issued.
Well, live and learn. Here's how our groups are shaping up so far. Of course, 1 win apiece for Flash Lux and RG Titan in Group A. BK Stars looking pretty strong right off the bat. 2 wins in Group B. T6 with just that 1 win over Mighty Storm. We're going to see Envyus, of course, with Mighty Storm today. That'll shake up Group C a little bit. And then in Group D, Reunited 1-1, looking pretty weak in their first match of the season, but coming back very strong on Wednesday. Have to see how the rest of the group shapes up for them, but they're kind of in a must-win situation going forward.
Yeah, they bounced back really well, to their credit. They fixed a lot
tighter.
of their problems when it came to teamwork and compositional issues that they had, particularly against Haxal's Genji.
Yeah.
So dealing with things a lot better, switching up to kind of a counter Genji strategy with Lucio and Zenyatta to kind of chain ultimates together to avoid the Dragon Blades. It actually proved very effective.
That's right. So there you see our map possibilities for our best of 5 here. Of course, starting out on Nepal, and then the loser of our first map gets to pick the next map out of the 3 that are available. And, of course, they can also choose to pick which side they start on, but, again, there's really no point to do that. You want to pick the map.
Yeah, and just to go back just a little bit more about the Taimu thing, he has publicly apologized for his comments, by the way. So, I know he and the rest of Envyus feel quite bad about that, and it will not be happening again. So
Kids these days, I tell you.
Kids these days doing all the bad things in the Twitch chat. Don't do that. Don't do the bad things in the Twitch chat, guys.
Only do good things. That's what Twitch chat is for, right?
Yes.
Spreading love and joy. And having, of course, intellectual discourse about whatever topic happens to be on the screen at the time.
Yeah, no memes at all.
No memes. Meme-free zone. So, we are going to be moving into our first best of 5 very soon. But honestly, we've had a lot to talk about in our matches going into some of the other days today. But today seems pretty clean cut, honestly. Mighty Storm needs to show a really big improvement from what we saw in their first best of 5 of the season if they want to really have any hope of taking on Envyus. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's very clear cut, I feel, going into this one.
Yeah, they just, as you said earlier, when they played against Conbox T6. Now, Conbox T6 is a team that is made up of very highly skilled and individually rated pros on the ladder.
Yeah.
And Conbox T6 won the match, but they didn't look like they had the best coordination either. So it wasn't the cleanest game from either team. And still, Mighty Storm managed to get 3-0'd. I think the bright spot really for me was watching Jack on the Roadhog. He actually did make some nice hooks on that particular hero, but they've got a long way to go. And when you're playing against a team like Envy that has such a high degree of mechanical skill and has some of the best teamwork in the world, it's going to be, I think, a tall order.
Yeah. So let's introduce our teams for our first match. Of course, we've been talking about it a little bit already. There is Mighty Storm, of course, an organization that popped up in Heroes of the Storm and had a team for a little while, now switching over to Overwatch. And we'll see what they can do today. Like you mentioned, of course, we had Jack on that Roadhog making some picks, but they're going to need a lot more. I mean, you oftentimes want to talk about the targets that a team should be looking at to improve on, and in Mighty Storm's case, it really looks like kind of everything is the target, right? Mechanics need to look a little bit better, positioning needs to look a little bit better, coordination of ults, ult management needs to look a little bit better. In general, this team, kind of looks like an amateur team right now. They made it through the qualifiers, which is great, but now they're on stage. Now they really need to get everything a lot tighter.
Yeah, they lose today, too. It's very unlikely they will be leaving groups. Lunatic High is also in this group. It has just made the semifinals over at APAC and looked pretty ridiculously strong while doing so.
Well, they 3-0'd Vici, which is arguably one of the stronger Chinese teams right now, too. So, yeah, I don't think Mighty Storm's going to have any
they
more
also
luck against
2-0'd Rogue.
Yeah, exactly. So... Well, of course, Envyus, the team that Mighty Storm will be going up against, and these guys are good. And the thing is they have not wasted any time. This is probably the team that has the most experience playing against Korean teams in the world right now. They started scrimming right away the second day they were here. Been doing it for about a week and a half now. These guys are about as prepared as you can get.
Yeah, so it's that time that they've had to become acclimated to the Korean meta, where we did see more of the Pharah Mercy play, at least at the beginning, from these teams, which had faded out of popularity. Didn't really see much of it at the Overwatch Open, but Koreans have been playing a little bit of a different game, but that is something that Envyus should be highly accustomed to now. As a reminder for you guys, as we look at the pick rates here over the course of this tournament, we are playing on the new patch. Which means that the Ana nerfs to her ult and the buffs to her Biotic Grenade have come on through. The Widowmaker Scope Time buffs are here as well, and the Junkrat Rip Tire buffs. So there may be some different picks. We haven't seen Widowmaker yet. Ana still obviously very high in use at 92%.
Yeah. Well, of course, our pick rate, like you're saying, pretty basic stuff if you look at the prevalence of the Beyblade meta these days. But, we were talking about Envyus and kind of what they like to do. Interestingly enough, the Korean teams seem to still really love that triple tank setup, whether it's defense or offense. And Envyus really has run a very successful triple tank on offense on a lot of maps as well in the past. And they've got a lot more tricks up their sleeve, but I feel like they've been playing the closest to the way a lot of these Korean teams have been playing too.
Yeah, sure. And speaking of tricks, one of the problems with preparing for Envyus is that they are all so individually skilled when it comes to their aim and comes to their mechanics that they can flex comps and flex heroes in a way that most other teams cannot. In the past, we've seen Harry Hook getting off support playing heroes like Soldier 76, so they're a bit of a wild card in that way.
That's right. Well, it's time to move on to our first map. Zhu gets the lead in this best of 5. Envyus taking on Team Mighty Storm here in Intel Overwatch Apex Season 1. It's time to get into Nepal.
I get it.
All right, welcome to Nepal yet again. Looks like we're starting out on Village, as we often do. It's a 1 out of 3 chance,
Nepal.
That's the extent of my math skills right there. That's about it.
The 33.3 repeating chance of starting on Nepal first.
Well, we're always
starting on Village first. Excuse me. No, we have in this match actually. No, the math is we have a 100% chance to start on Nepal.
That's very true. Well, here we go.
Quick correction for you guys.
We're off to a good start. So we'll see what everybody decides to run here. It's fairly standard across the board as far as the compositions. SIP running that Zenyatta, but we saw him run that last time too. Not a big surprise there. And on Village, you can make that choice between the Zenyatta and the Ana. And both are fairly vulnerable. You can get flanked very easily on this one. You can argue that Ana has a little bit better individual survivability than Zenyatta, but you see a lot of switching between the two, especially in Korea.
Yeah, of course, Top Ground going to be coming in first. Reinhardt here to block a lot of that initial damage. Winston shield already going down, so the poke will be applied here by Envy.
Oh, Jack getting a lot of shots on the flank here from Envy, charging up that pulse bomb on Tracer very quickly. Kills coming in on each side, though. Trading fairly evenly. We'll see who takes a point first as it unlocks in just a few seconds here. Taimu starting out on the Reaper this time around. Oh, and starting out dying early to SIP. That's the second kill he's picked up on that Zenyatta. Clearly one of the better Zenyatas we've seen in Korea, despite kind of looking a little bit uncoordinated with the rest of his team. Looks like Envyus camping out on the point for the moment. They've almost got it. Looks like they will take it first.
Yeah, right as Coco comes back. Can't see Chloe get there on the Winston in time, so now it's going to be a bit of a brawl right outside. Both tanks going down.
Wow, yeah, a Graviton Surge used immediately. Not a big follow-up from Envyus as they lose a couple. They lose Tailspin, Coco, Internet Hulk goes down. Mighty Storm maybe with a chance to take this point back as Fellow picks up a kill as well. He's got that Death Blossom to use if he needs to. But so far, Mighty Storm has not taken the point, now finally grabbing it. So good amount of percentage early on for Envyus, but
Harry Hook with a
Storm
bit
able
of
to
a
take it quickly.
desperation sound barrier there at the end.
Yeah,
Popped it pretty late after they had already been clumped up, but we'll see if they can manage to take it back right now. They will not have one of those support ults available to them. And really what's been impressive is watch the Discord orbs. They've been really well focused down by the members of Mighty Storm.
Whoa, Chloe went real deep there. I'm kind of surprised he was able to escape himself, but Mighty Storm able to pick up some kills and kind of stuff that push from Envyus. They're going to need to reset. Fellow really well prepared with that Death Blossom, and overall, Envyus may have to wait a little bit longer. I think they can maybe kind of play it slow, get a couple more ults, and then go for their big push. But here we go.
But there's the
Gets
Death Blossom.
now. Yeah, Death Blossom used, gets a couple kills right away, gets 3. Fellow really making this work for Mighty Storm right now. And Envyus having a really hard time retaking this point on Village.
That was a really sneaky setup. So
Yeah.
he was sitting up at the high ground knowing that Envyus was going to come through there again. He waited until the Reinhardt with the shield passed, so Coco was already passed, couldn't actually block the Death Blossom coming in. Great patience there on the ultimate. And the percent is ticking now in favor of Mighty Storm.
It's getting to be a little bit worrisome, but Envyus getting close to some of those ults. There's Taimu ready to drop the Death Blossom if he needs to. Start building up some percentage on the point right now as Rumor comes in. Nano boost onto Taimu. See if we can get done with it. Gets a kill there. Death Blossom to the back. That's a good angle for Envyus to come in here. Taimu gets 3. Taimu gets 4 now, and that's going to be an easy point take for Envyus.
Yeah, patient retake right there, waiting to group up, and they're not baited into the high ground again. This time they go in through the choke point low,
Very
and
nice.
just time that nano boost extremely well, engaging and forcing them to fight on the side, and then the flank coming in from Taimu does most of the work.
Yeah, a couple ults up for Mighty Storm right now. They've got a possible push centered around this Zenyatta Transcendence if they use it. Graviton Surge rather, used immediately. And Storm caught up in a little bit. Envyus trying to defend this point. Jack saving that pulse bomb for a little bit later as Envyus gets a couple kills. Looks like Mighty Storm probably going to have to reset. Try again a little bit later. Yep, as SIP finally goes down. A little bit of a split spawn situation going here. Envyus doing a good job of staggering those kills.
Yeah, and if they're gonna, Mighty Storm is gonna take this match, they're gonna probably have to do it in overtime at this point, considering
That way.
they only have a couple of ults up at the moment, but they're inching closer towards the Zarya and the Reaper ultimates. And we're gonna try and poke out right now and rebuild their meters.
And get ready for the big bang. Yoshi just got that Graviton Surge. Jack's been holding on to the pulse bomb for a long time. We'll see if they go for it. Oh, Yoshi
Perfect.
going down before they get a chance. And yeah, Envyus just controlling this choke point really well.
They were really anticipating the Graviton Surge coming in. You could tell how they were fanned out and split up so they wouldn't be pulled into it, getting in a big concave around him to freeze and focus him down.
Now Jack is trying to disrupt Envyus. Split up the defense just a little bit. Death Blossom used on the outside. Taimu picking up SIP with that. Now the Graviton Surge finally used. Where's the combo? Doesn't look like it's coming in. Chips does go down, but Envyus still holding the point for the moment. Taimu picking up another kill. A nice Earth Shatter helps Envyus hold this, and they should be able to grab it now, as that's basically going to be a team kill. There's his. Envyus taking point A.
That delay on the Zarya ultimate from the Zarya pick was absolutely crucial there to pushing this map into overtime, positioning, definitely anticipating the ult and the ult combos that could be executed at that time by Mighty Storm. So they fell behind a little bit early, but thanks to some excellent flanking from the Reaper with the nano boost, able to retake the point and then get the proper picks in order to drag out the match into that overtime situation.
And I like the composition they had. You know, they did avoid using the Tracer, but they had the man there. Once they were able to take the point, they were able to sit on and defend the choke very, very easily.
Yeah. And that Zarya pick was so clutch. It allowed Envy to also get their Graviton Surge up and build up that meter. So we'll be heading into Shrine as our second point.
A little bit of a change up in the roster as Tailspin on that Roadhog now. Time switching over to the McCree. Gets the kill on a Fellow right away. Fellow supposedly one of the star DPS here for Mighty Storm, but haven't really seen him go off quite yet in his matches here in OGN. And man, Envyus just absolutely stopping Mighty Storm early on here on Shrine.
Well, this is what you get. Taimu is known as one of the best McCree players in the world, gets a couple of early pickoffs. And here's the thing, you can't really get back onto this McCree with the composition that Mighty Storm is running. I mean, who's going to go back there? They don't have great backline dive, and even if you hit him with the Discord Orb, I mean, yeah, you can get the Winston or the Tracer maybe on top of him, but he'll be landing those flashbangs pretty easily.
Yeah, exactly. Jack trying to get in the back lines of Envyus right now, disrupting things just a little bit. Nearly has that Pulse Bomb, has it now, gets hooked, gets taken out. Meanwhile, Deadeye able to do a little bit more damage. Goodbye. Fellow deciding to reset himself, get back with the team. Another easy hold for Envyus, but you're absolutely right. I mean, if Chloe jumps in on that Winston, just gets flashbang right-clicked by this McCree, and not a lot you can do. So Envyus, you know, I would say looking about like you'd expect going into this match.
Yeah, they're playing very defensively. You'll notice they fell back from the point right there and just tried to protect Taimu, landing the hook there from Tailspin onto the Tracer, really eliminated any threat from the McCree, and we just don't see anything switching up here from Mighty Storm. They're really committing to the ultimate charge that they already have. But.
Oh, they tried to get onto Taimu again. They hit him with the Discord Orb for the moment, but once again they back up. There we go right away. Flashbang into the Fan the Hammer on that Winston. Taimu looking just fine, gets the kill onto Jack, walks right into that headshot, and Envyus just having such an easy time of it. There goes SIP with a hammer to the Chrome Dome, and Envyus seems to be pretty much untouchable here on Shrine.
They're doing such a good job of protecting Taimu here. Everybody just making sure that he can dodge all those shots. Speed boost coming in from Harry Hook to give him a little bit more nimbleness in that back line.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Envyus just looking about as clean as you can on the defense here. Fellow trying to be sneaky now. May actually have a good opportunity for Death Blossom here as he gets in on a Chip Sale and on the end. The Graviton Surge used brings in a lot of Mighty Storm. The counter engage and Tailspin. Switching over to that Tracer. Gets the kill. Taimu staying alive on the side here. As Envyus again up to 99% now.
I mean, is Taimu going to die? That's like
Maybe,
the big question
probably
right
not.
now.
Doesn't look like it as Envyus holds his point, and that's it. They're going to 2-0 Nepal in style. Doesn't really, I think that's probably the most one-sided map we've seen yet in the tournament.
That was pretty ridiculous. You know, the first map was a little back and forth, 100% to 0 on map number 2. Not even a kill onto Taimu, but that's just the coordination we expect from a team like Envyus.
Yeah.
You have to be precise in your attack if you want to be able to dissect them, and Envy knew exactly how to play that composition against what they were facing. And we saw, just like we did in the last time, Mighty Storm really relying on Jack's Tracer, but just not enough backline threat right there, and it was basically just a McCree free-firing. Then on that last point, they decided to go a little bit more, or the last ticks, they decided to go a little bit more aggressive with the Zarya ultimate into the Deadeye, and that got the initial kills they needed to clean up the fight and make sure that they capped it at 100% to 0.
Looks like it's going to be King's Row next for our second map. We know this is one that that Mighty Storm really prefers. They think it's one of their better maps, and they're going to need it if they want to make any progress against Envyus. But I mean, after how Nepal went, I feel like that was really a preview for all the rest of this maps and these maps in the series are going to go.
Well, I hope we get to see more of Jack's Roadhog, because I think that's when a Mighty Storm performed at their best. They don't seem as coordinated with the Tracer as with the Roadhog getting the initial picks and forming a big front line as opposed to trying to attack the back line. So
I suppose. Well, Fellow fans himself off as Taimu fans the hammer, and I can tell you which one of those are more effective at getting things done. Time moving to King's Row and see if Envy can go up 2-0 or if Mighty Storm can tie up this series. We'll find out as we go to King's Row. And welcome to King's Row. chill out next to the Mandata statue.
Battleground.
Wonder how he doesn't drop that floating
King's
orb
Row.
thing. I'll tell you, Monte Cristo, it's the future.
Oh, really? I just thought it was magic.
In the future, people have floating orbs, but it's not magic, it's science.
Okay.
It's not monkeys, it's scientists.
Well, at a certain point, if you time travel far enough in the future, magic will be indistinguishable from science, Doa.
That's true. You're right. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is absolutely astounding.
Well, you know, I saw this fantasy movie from the 80s once, and the guy built a hang glider. His name was Ator. People thought it was magic. Nope. Just science. Well, looks like we're going for the pharmacy here. Tailspin and Harry Hook. Fair Mercy. Envyus, of course, one of the teams that traditionally enjoyed running that quite a bit. Still certainly can. Coco on the Zenyatta this time around. Taimu on the Hanzo. So really interesting composition if we see them stick with this. Of course, no tanks at all on Envyus right now. So I think we're probably going to see a bit of a change. There we go. Taimu on the Road Dogg. He's sort of a tank, but okay. You know, they told us, we were talking to him earlier, they told us they were gonna have some interesting stuff for us today.
Coco's not going to stick on to
okay.
the Zenyatta, but they are going to be rolling with that Reinhardt. So more of a standard composition, like you say. Tailspin known for his Pharah play.
Got to be careful, though, taking a couple shots from that Anna. He's got the heal from Harry Hook coming in, though. Mighty Storm going for a pretty normal defense here.
Yeah, fellow at least on the
2-2-2.
McCree, so they have a way to deal with this, but Room actually just going to get picked off by Tailspin right at the start. Uh-oh.
Tailspin easily one of the best fares, if not the best fare in the world, and he's really making Mighty Storm feel it already.
And behind Chloe right now, he's going to get a lot of free shots off.
Wow, it's a field day as Chloe goes down. That barrage already built up by Tailspin. Fellow taken out right as the Deadeye comes up. There's a barrage, a couple more kills, and Envyus going to take this first point easily, it looks like.
Well, they still have to deal with Jack. Nano Boost falls off, though, and right out of the Wraith form, it is a rocket to the face. And they just couldn't actually deal with the Pharah. Then we saw Envyus get over the top, into the top halls, and they had no really method to deal with the flank right there. Nano Boost did build up pretty quickly for SIP thanks to the Pharah poke, but wasn't enough. Too many people had already died on the side of Mighty Storm, and there you go.
Okay.
Nice shot there from Felho, switching it up. Actually finding that kill with the Mei instead of the McCree.
Yep, happens every once in a while. Doesn't really slow down Envyus too much. They've got the ability to nano boost Coco here if they want to. Internet Hull captures that Blizzard built up on Mei as well, of course. Oh, nice hook on the Fellow. Taimu getting the pick there. There's nano boost as they send Reinhardt in. The one pick on the Mei, and they know this is an opportunity to push most of the way to point two. They will take advantage of it. Jack
just falling back right there.
Yep.
Trying to deal with damage he can from range. Not easy on the Reaper, but since Envy had saved their nano boost, they could get a little bit of a free push right there. The kill initially on the Tailspin really didn't slow them down. It also Envy down because the payload was still coming out of the garage. So they didn't lose any time.
You know, I feel like I'm seeing... Okay, never mind. Jack coming in now with that Death Blossom. Gets two. Nice hold. Gets another one with that nano boost going after Taimu now. Gets the kill onto that Road Dogg, and so the hold will happen. I believe. Yep. Able to finally do that. As the final kills come in, Tailspin slept and then killed off. So it will be a near complete team wipe in favor of Mighty Storm, and they will prevent Envyus from taking that second point for the moment anyway.
Yeah, I wonder if Tailspin's going to stick on this far right now. Looks like he's going to commit to it. Did use the barrage right at the end and got slept, so not a lot of efficiency out of that ultimate.
Yeah. You know, what I was going to say is that it seems like Jack finds himself in a position where he's holding onto these ultimates for a long, long time. And I'm not sure if it's hesitancy or team coordinations that's the issue, but we saw him sit a long time on that Pulse Bomb on Tracer and not really getting a lot of use out of it. Sat around on the Reaper ult as well. Finally did get some work done with it just a moment ago. Has it again already, so we'll see if he can be a little bit more aggressive with that going forward. Graviton Surge used. They try to make another play onto Envyus here. Jack comes in. Gets pushed away by that whole hog as Taimu tries to keep this push alive. It's going to be tough, though. Nano boost onto the Reinhardt as Chloe goes in for a few more kills. Jack into the back lines now. It's going to be another clean hold for Mighty Storm. So finally stabilizing a bit here on King's Row.
Yeah, this is bad for Envy, too. Taimu doesn't have the ultimate up any longer, and Mighty Storm was able to build up 4 ults. They held on to Jax for that push, didn't actually need it, as they nano boosted the Reinhardt instead.
Tailspin switching over to that McCree now,
Yeah,
though.
I think that's smart. I think the Pharah is not going to be working any longer at this point, so you got to get something that will actually be able to. Whoop, let's see how this goes.
Oh, it's a big blizzard coming down. Chip Salen already getting taken out immediately with that engage from Mighty Storm. Looks like they're going to finish off Taimu as well. And another clean hold. Just a good comboing of that Death Blossom after the blizzard.
Yep. Team kill right there, but 3 ults used. They are holding on to the sound barrier. Envy, they're just trying to build up charge, though. They've been delayed pretty significantly at this stage.
Well, they're in that awkward position on King's Row where it's a pretty long run back to where the point is, and it's pretty much impossible to engage this in a way where your opponent won't see you coming first. Kind of just have to bum rush it. Maywall may help out. They're going to get the kill on the Klo right away. Good start for Envyus there. Chip's a little bit low. Got to be careful protecting that Ana as they push ahead onto the payload now. Nano boost used. We'll see if they can get anything done with it as Coco gets his own nano boost from Envyus. Has that Earth Shatter ready, gonna drop it immediately. Gets the kill onto Jack, the Reaper out of commission. Looks like Envyus finally ready to push his payload, potentially all the way to the end of point B.
They're going to get it all the way down there, just making sure that nobody's going to get to this. Chloe in a bit of trouble on the front line, but thanks to Reinhardt and Zarya Shield, will be able to stay up.
Well, it was a really good split from Tailspin to cut Chloe off from the rest of his team, and when they were able to get that 6v5, that's really what allowed them to take the point.
Made it significantly easier. They only had 1 nano boost target at that point, and it was Jack
Yep.
on the Reaper, but more work done by Coco during his own nano boost.
Graviton Surge uses Taimu, gets in the back line as well with the Reaper ultimate. Gets 3 combined for the team, and he's going to go deep. Envyus wants to push this the rest of the way right now.
They're going to try for it, and the wall looked like it was going to be good, but it actually pinned multiple members from Mighty Storm and allowed them to get an even easier Death Blossom off.
Yeah, well, Chloe very, very low on that Reinhardt. Now the Blizzard going down in favor of Mighty Storm. Harry Hook drops the sound barrier to try to keep his team alive. Gets frozen, gets taken out eventually by Fellow here. Mighty Storm looks like they might be able to hold, but we'll see what the nano boost on Taimu has to say about that. Going in onto Fellow now. Fellow, oh, actually they got the sleep dart onto Taimu. Somehow he survives, but no, finally taken out by that Mei. Chip Salen goes down as well. Looks like Envyus going to be stuffed. Tailspin back on the McCree once again.
That was so close to being a disaster right there when they woke up Taimu while he was still nano boosted. They do finish off the kill before he can get any more for the side of Envyus. Try and push forward once again, but so much committed there by Envy. Coco's going to have a hell of an Earth Shatter.
Yeah, wall comes in from Mighty Storm. As they defend here, and nano boost onto Klo, gets Earth Shatter immediately pinned again by Reinhardt. Nice play from Coco to mitigate that. He does go down. Taimu very low though on that Reaper for the moment. Kills coming in for Envyus. They've got a good start on this push. Taimu with that Death Blossom might be able to finish this one off. Going in, not opposed by anybody. Gets the kills. Yoshi falling to his death on that Zarya, and that is going to be the end of it. Envyus takes the 3rd point. 56 seconds remaining. They got the job done. Mighty Storm holding for a little bit longer than expected, but didn't stop Envyus in the end.
The shutdown on the nano boosted Reinhardt was so clutch there at the end. They responded immediately to the nano boost with the Earth Shatter into a charge, straight into a sleep dart.
Yeah.
No work able to be done from Mighty Storm, and that set up the 6v5 that allowed them to get that final push underway. So good teams, you usually have to use several forms of CC to outlast the nano boost. It can be difficult to execute, but when you do, it takes the wind right out of the Ana's sails.
So that's a 2-0 for Envyus. Our final map coming up after a short break, and Mighty Storm, you know, kind of like we were expecting, looking a little bit outclassed. I suppose they do have a chance to play offense too on this map, don't they?
Yeah, don't write them off yet, Doa. And
yeah.
Envy didn't have the world's best time either. They got held up between points 1 and 2 for a pretty significant portion of the game. Envy on defense, and Harry Hook is on Soldier.
Yeah, we'll see if he sticks on it.
I mean, he's definitely sticking on it.
I suppose. You know, I've been saying this since the tournament began. I still like Soldier. He brings a lot of utility, obviously, to compositions defensively. Provides a little bit extra healing. Provides quite a bit of mid-range damage. And on a map like this, sure, why not? If you've got the ability to track well with a hit scan character, give Soldier a try.
And we know Harry Hook definitely has those skills. For a guy who primarily plays Lucio, his aim is absolutely incredible.
You know, so technically they're going to be running triple tank with one support and one off support, I suppose you could say, in Soldier. A little bit of interesting variation, but seems reasonable.
It's also because you have Mei and Roadhog with the ability to heal themselves. So they should have enough healing with this composition, combined with the Biotic Field and the darts from Ana. So it's a clever comp right here. Definitely a lot of upfront damage. Good pick capabilities, too, with the Mei wall and the hook.
A fellow getting in the back line, just trying to...
I mean, they're not expecting a Soldier right here for sure.
Yeah, I don't think so. SIP on the Zenyatta. A lot of pushing power, of course, on that hero. Fellow just charging up the Dragon Blade by trying to land those left clicks. Taking out the statue of Mandata. And Harry Hook again. We'll see what he can do on this Soldier 76. Ooh, a hook onto Fellow. Taimu claims first blood in this match.
Yeah, look at the high ground placement, too. Roadhog tanky enough that
close.
if they come up the right side right there and try and challenge him on the high ground, he'll be able to take those hits. And with the Soldier placement, if anybody comes over, like the Genji or a Winston, they can immediately be hooked off of the Soldier like we just saw. It is in range of the Roadhog hook, so interesting positioning here from Envyus on point one, but they've got all their bases covered.
Now the wall from Tailspin just cutting off Chloe, it looks like, on that Winston, not lasting long. More kills coming in. Jack manages to take down Internet Hulk in the back as he goes way, way far away here.
Harry Hook trying to find Jack in the back line, but Taimu doing a good job of zoning him out so far.
Well, Jack just trying to disrupt maybe some of the spawns for Envyus is now Mighty Storm pushing again. They're going to try to flank. Jack does have that Pulse Bomb going in. Can he get the stick onto Taimu? Looks like he did, but Taimu healing. Actually, that Pulse Bomb looked like it may have missed. Harry Hook going deep now, but goes down immediately. Doesn't get his ultimate up in time. And Envyus in a little bit of trouble here as Fellow comes in with the Dragon Blade. Nice Zarya shield onto Roadhog. He lives for now, and Internet Hulk getting a bit of revenge on the Cyber Ninja. Yoshi very low on that Zarya, drops the Graviton Surge, but not getting a lot of follow-up. And there we go, 4 kills for Internet Hulk. Gets the nano boost, gets the team wipe. That's 5 now.
Yeah, we're talking about a nano-boosted Zarya at 100 energy, combined with the Graviton Surge, and then you throw in the Whole Hog, because getting damage down on Whole Hog is usually the problem because of the knockback. But yeah, you don't have to worry about the knockback when everybody's sucked into the middle of a Graviton Surge. So that's probably about one of the highest damage combos you can get in Overwatch, Doa.
It's not bad. You combine the Blizzard with that too. You're not going anywhere, yeah. Harry Hook has the visor available for his Soldier 76. And here we go, another push from Mighty Storm, going to send the Winston in right away. Yoshi with the shield on him and trying to keep alive. Gets a good angle onto the Reinhardt, but yep, you're right, kills in the back lines as Coco takes down Fellow. Harry Hook coming around the side, and that Soldier just provides so much extra damage that you're not used to handling when you're attacking this point on King's Row. I love this adaptation.
Yeah, it's definitely something we've seen in the past from Envy. Soldier, not the highest priority in the meta right now. If you're looking for long-range hit scan, normally people go over and try and take that McCree instead, but I think it's good when you're not running a support. He gets a biotic field.
Well, I think, all right, so we see another push. Oh, Taimu gets a Lucio, does not hit that left click, though. Sound barrier does go down. That may sustain the push for the moment as Mighty Storm tries to finally make this work. Taimu coming in, though. That left click so strong, it's going to be another hold for Envyus as this fight finishes off. Nice right click on a Rumor, but what I was going to say is Envyus has done a good job identifying what Mighty Storm can do, and really all Mighty Storm seems to be able to do is just dive you. They just get aggressive and they try to get in your face. And one thing that's really hard to do is run at the Soldier 76. It's hard to approach him in these defensive situations because he'll just unload right in your face, right? So if you can't do that, what are you going to do? I think Envyus just kind of has a Mighty Storm style hard counter here.
Yeah, attack visor coming in. He can't run away on a Tracer. He should not have tried to keep fighting that at all.
He's got him in his sights, and I think Envyus has the win in their sights here on King's Row as well, as Harry Hook picking up another couple of finishing kills. SIP in the back line, so Hook misses. And that's it. GG, Envyus. Full hold on point A, and they will win a clean 3-0 here on King's Row.
Yeah, some room for error there, too, with Envyus, particularly when we saw that second-to-last push come in, because the Lucio didn't die immediately. It was a great hook from Taimu that actually interrupted the sound barrier ultimate, but he got another chance to cast it there because all the damage didn't quite land onto the Lucio. So a bit of a gimme there and a retry from Mighty Storm, but it still was not enough.
Well, Mighty Storm looking a little bit stunned, and again, you know, I feel like at this point, it really seems to be all they can do is just kind of come at you as fast as they can and try to just out-brawl you. But you know, when you're Envyus and you play a composition like we just saw, it's just so hard to approach. How do you break that? You know, if you've only got the style that Mighty Storm's been showing.
Well, how do you practice against what Envyus just showed you? I mean, other teams are not going to use Soldier 76 as an off support and play on the high ground and position that well. It gave them a lot of problems. Jack, on that last one, he had to kind of come back and fight that Soldier because the time was ticking. He had to get on the point. Yeah. But at the same time, he comes up there, eats a ton of rifle shots to the face, has to use his E immediately, but there's no time for him to go around. So basically, he has to run at Soldier. Harry Hook's aim is true, and he dies as part of the cleanup effort from Envy. It is a tough nut to crack strategically.
We'll be back with Game 3 right after this.
시간 가속기도 만들었는데 이 정도쯤이야. 오버워치 요원, 오버워치 요원 여러분. 아, 이게 아닌가? 오버워치의 옛 요원 여러분, 윈스턴입니다. 당연한 소리라. 30년 전 옴닉은 전쟁을 일으켰어. 속수무책으로 당하던 세계는 영웅들을 소집해 작은 단체를 꾸립니다. 그렇게 옴닉 사태로부터 인류를 구하기 위해 오버워치가 결성됐지요. 우린 역사상 가장 위대한 평화의 수호자이자 번영의 상징이었습니다. 당신이 선택됐던 이유는 그만한 힘과 능력이 있었기 때문에. 당신이 싸웠던 이유는 이미 아시는 얘기죠. 네, 사람들은 우리 없이 살기로 결정했어요. 심지어 우리가 범죄자라며 우리 조직을 해체시켰죠. 하지만 보세요. 누군가 나서야 해요. 우리가 나서야 한다고요. 우리가 바로잡을 수 있어요. 세상에 우리가 필요합니다. 지금 당장. 함께 하실 거죠?
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
Hey, welcome back to Apex. Guess what, Monty?
What, Doa?
Envyus is up 2-0 over Mighty Storm. Are you surprised?
No.
Me neither. Well, we will see if Mighty Storm can make a comeback here. We don't quite know what the next map is going to be yet. I think we're going to find out in just a second here. But, you know, overall, not only does Envyus seem to outclass Mighty Storm in a big way, it just seems like they know what Mighty Storm's style is, and they're having no problem taking it. Looks like it's going to be Volskaya, actually, for our third map.
Look, I hope for Mighty Storm's sake that they can at least take a point, because they haven't done that in either Nepal or Kings Row so far. They got full held at the first point in Kings Row, couldn't come up with a point in the control map either. So hopefully they'll be able to take at least the first point on Volskaya here.
You know, if they don't, though, that'll be 6 maps in a row in the tournament. And, well, in the last 6 maps, they will have only taken 2 points total.
Well, they do, I think, have a challenging group, right? You don't want to be put in a group with Lunatic High and with Envyus. That does make getting top 2 and advancing to the quarterfinals quite a feat.
Well, if you've lost to T6 already, too, it seems unlikely that you're going to be able to make it. Time to go on the third map and see if Mighty Storm can start a bit of a comeback, or if Envyus will close out this series with a clean 3-0. Let's go to Volskaya and find out.
I get it.
All right, welcome to Volskaya Industries, where they make giant robots that apparently just kind of walk around city streets. Now, they don't really find anything. They just
Volskaya
sort of wander about.
Industries.
See, there's one now.
They're there to look intimidating, Noah.
I guess so. Well, I'd be intimidated. Nobody's going to shoplift if there's a giant robot standing outside.
Ready to crush you with one sweep of the giant robotic hand.
Or just step on you.
I guess.
I feel that you don't even have to bend over for that. Then just stomp on him.
Well, speaking of bending over, Doa.
I wasn't going to say it. Well, Envyus on offense here on Volskaya starting out, and well, we'll see if Time Mood sticks on that Widowmaker. Of course, she did get a little bit of, you know, shall we say, quality of life buff to her zoom in with the Widow's Kiss.
Ooh.
The Widow's Kiss. It's not sniping.
I guess.
It's kissing them with bullets.
Is that how it works? The kiss of lead?
Bullet kiss. Sound like a kind of kiss I'd like to receive. Nope.
Hey, at least if you receive a widow's kiss, you don't have to worry about jealous husbands, right?
That's true, I suppose.
Checkmate.
Suppose that is true, yeah, unless they come back from the grave. It is Halloween right now.
This is a very weird setup we're seeing right here.
Ooh, I like it
Some
though.
cheese, Doa.
Yeah, Mighty Storm just looking to take advantage of Envyus, whatever side they come out. Let's see if this
They're not
works.
coming around the side that they want to
Oh,
do.
hi.
Hello.
Yep, they find him and they immediately back away. Envyus just kind of brawling now with this. Fellow having to back off immediately. Internet Hulk with the kill onto Jack if the May can't even live. Things are going poorly. Fellow does get the kill though onto Internet Hulk, so maybe Mighty Storm can hold this a bit. Tailspin though on top of the building with that Genji. Charging with those right clicks, or left clicks rather. And I think Envyus has a pretty good chance to take this over. Taimu sticking on that Widowmaker and is already delivering the kisses.
Jeez.
Whoa! Taimu!
He's just kissing everybody.
It's been so long. Love is in the air. Oh, it's painful. It's painful to watch.
This is actually hurting my soul, though. I feel really bad for Mighty Storm right
Oh,
now.
I have a bomb. All right, that may have been a little bit of a waste, but
Also, we didn't even really have a chance to talk about this. Harry Hook is playing
Jeez,
Tracer.
right. Oh.
So Coco is on Lucio. They've entirely switched things up, running with the single tank composition. But this is that versatility that we know Envyus can pull off, and this is why they're so hard to play against, because they have such flexibility in their hero pools, and to a degree that almost no other team has.
Wow. All right, Tailspin very low, gets the heals in the end. And so
Dragon
he'll leave
Blade
for
is
now.
up.
Yep, Mighty Storm drops the Blizzard to try to hold this point for the moment. Tailspin just skirting into the side. He's like, I can still get in the corner. Goodbye, May. Soon. I mean it, really. Sound barrier used. There's a Dragon Blade. Envyus wanting to finish this one off quickly. We'll see if they can. Dragon Blade not picking up anything quite yet. Finds the Ana in the end. Zarya's Shield's going to keep her alive for a little bit longer. Had that nano boost as well. Envyus getting the kills. It's a close spawn. It can be hard to take these points sometimes, but you wouldn't know that by watching this game, would you?
No, you definitely wouldn't. The cleanup just keeps coming in. Pulse bomb back available for Harry Hook. Gonna drop it.
Good wall,
Harry,
actually.
Yeah, Harry, missing a couple of those so far. Not quite getting the sticks, but
Yeah.
see if they can hold on to this. The flood of members of Mighty Storm continues to come in, and there we have the Zarya ultimate getting that kill onto Tailspin.
Dropping the Graviton Surge. Envyus may have to back up a little bit here and regroup. Or not. Never mind. They can just jump back on the point. Taimu right there. Closer to another Death Blossom, of course. Finally has to back away slightly, and Envyus resetting just a bit now.
Yeah, they couldn't quite even cap the first tick on that point, so
Well.
Mighty Storm did a good job of trickling in one by one and eventually just grinding it out. Taimu fall off the upper level right there. Has switched up onto the Reaper.
All right. He is just fearless on this Reaper, man, but Internet Hulk coming in to help out as well. Gets out sound barriers. They try to push. There goes Fellow. Yoshi down as well. Another Blizzard coming in. Taimu frozen, taken out by Jack. And he was not ready for that Blizzard. Didn't have the Wraith form available. Tailspin very, very low on this Genji, down to 7 HP. Gets back to the small health canister. And now gets some heals rather coming in.
Yeah, that was a bit of a sloppy nano boost right there. It was after the freeze, and yeah, it does give you that 50% damage reduction, but by that time, Taimu's health had already dropped so low that able to be focused down nearly instantaneously by Mighty Storm. And now they've got to sit back and wait for that to charge up. Tailspin, the only one with an ult up right now, is going to find Fellow. And yeah, just
It's a fine fellow.
he is a fine fellow. Find that fine fellow. And he's going to come
Found
back
the fine
around.
Fellow finally. Oh, he's right behind you.
Yep,
Look out.
did check the corner, still gets the reflect.
Yep, should be okay. There's a Dragon Blade. We'll see what he can get out of it. Shield ends on Zarya right the minute. That's going to be a kill, and this is a clean fight for Envyus. Ooh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yep, but they're surviving long enough with the help of the May wall. Point coming in for the capture now. Ana and Lucio are alive. They're waiting for other respawns, though. Zarya up at the moment.
Whoa, sound barrier used on, I believe, just one member of Mighty Storm.
Yikes.
Yeah, Room coming in and trying to hold it just by himself. It's not going to work in a very fast time set by Envyus on what will probably be the last map in the series.
That could have been, Doa, a 6-minute time bank for them, but it was
very nearly was.
a fight off of there. Did end up with a couple extra minutes going over to Mighty Storm, so they end with 3:52, which is obviously still a very respectable time for 2-point capture.
Yeah.
And now Mighty Storm, we'll see if they can capture this first point. Let's get at least 1 point in this match for them.
I mean, Volskaya point A is pretty easy to take.
That's true.
You don't often get held on point A. Then again, You don't often find yourself on Mighty Storm going up against Envyus. Let's take a look at some of those highlights. Man, Taimu finding the headshots.
Oh, he missed one.
Oh, well, he's fired. There we go. All right, he's rehired. Oh. Time to reap. Well, what can you say? How about another one? Like it? Right about now. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Well, those Widow buffs, one of the other things that Blizzard changed was there was, I believe, a 0.1 second delay on reaching full charge after you first scoped. It was a bug.
Yeah.
And so not only do you get the change from 0.5 to 0.33 seconds when you scope, now that bug has also been fixed.
A tenth of a second, man.
Yeah, but in total, you're talking about nearly a quarter second faster to reach full charge on that shot.
True.
Which is, in the world of Overwatch, can be an eternity. And really allowing perhaps a Widowmaker to come back in vogue once again.
So I wonder if we're going to see Chloe stick with that Pharah. Probably not. I'm not so sure. They're not running the Mercy, obviously. Only one tank. I think he's got to be switching back to, possibly a Winston or even a Reinhardt. We'll see.
Envy opting for a very standard composition this time.
Yep, got that Roadhog on Taimu. Roadhog, certainly one of the best heroes for holding a point like this. You can be mobile, you can get those picks from a lot of different angles. Envyus defending on the side of the truck initially. Ship sailing set up on the building, as you often see. And we'll see how long Envyus can hold point A. If they manage to hold point A or even point B here, that's it. The match is over.
Well, Fire Strike gonna kill Jack right there.
Yep.
As poke down just a little bit, one of those Fire Strikes. You're at half HP as Tracer can go ahead and finish you off right there, but that's a pretty substantial pick right at the start of this fight, losing out on a lot of the DPS that Mighty Storm has until he can make his way back to be with the rest of his team.
Tailspin on that Reaper now. As we see Mighty Storm try to skirt around the outside. Looks like they're getting pushed back. Whoa! Meanwhile, Chloe goes deep on that Reinhardt, taking a lot of shots. Finally goes down. And Tracer not going to last too much longer, it looks like, as well. Envyus on the point defending, and Mighty Storm having a really hard time making any progress here. Yep, they will have to back up. Fellow on that McCree nearly has a Deadeye, but no, not a lot of good angles to come in with the Deadeye on point A here on the sky. Whoa, a hook from Taimu. There's a kill into SIP. Not sure how he got all the way back there.
That is such a brutal split spawn, too,
Yeah.
because everybody else is ready to go in. And Ana had the ultimate up, the Nano Boost was ready, and now they just have to wait for it. It's one of the few ultimates they had at the time to work with, as keep getting poked and poked and poked by the Zarya grenades here.
And when you see an Ana out of position like that, too, it just really shows that Mighty Storm, lacks just a lot of that basic coordination. The other teams are going to try to go in now with that Graviton Surge. Nice pin from Coco onto Fellow, though, and already Envyus holding this point pretty easily. Internet Hulk helping Taimu pick up another kill there. He's gotten 3 in this fight already. Hi. See ya. It's a drive-by wave.
Giving the salutations to a charging Reinhardt, and Tailspin just lurking right in the garage next to the point there.
Well, when you look up Raffle Stomp in the dictionary, you'll probably find a link to this series. After tonight, Tailspin comes in with that Death Blossom, gets a lot. Taimu, the beneficiary of a lot of those low health members of Mighty Storm as well, and it's going to be a team kill. There we go. The final one taken out by Tailspin. And just a minute 30 on the clock. Let's watch that fight again.
What can you say? Great coordination. The instant he pops out of that door, gets Ana ulted, then doubles back. Great map awareness from Tailspin, realizing where everybody else was to clean up, and with that speed boost, able to run down the rest of his targets with ease.
Normally at this point we'd be looking like at what sort of ult economy each team possesses and all that, but none of that seems to matter in this game. It all is just about the superior fighting, and whoa, that got that Earth Shatter off at Taimu just in time, because that whole hog was about to wreck them. Jack in the back lines, that sound barrier helping out as well. The Internet Hulk getting a little bit low there. Jack finally making a little bit happen, but no. Envyus still getting the better end of this fight pretty easily.
They just keep getting caught in that room.
Yeah.
First off, it was when they tried to go past the point with the Death Blossom. Then another read. They try and change their approach. Instead of rushing straight in, go around the left side. But there's a Roadhog there waiting with the whole hog, and when you're in a confined space like that, he can just walk forward and pump rounds into you into the wall. I mean, they shut him down, but there's just too much else for Envy to work with. They have another nano boost right now.
Sleep dart onto Taimu. They do manage to get the pick onto that off of it. Good start. Tailspin though with that nano boost, looking for more. Gets one, has that death blossom to use on the point if he needs to. Let's find out. Waiting for everybody to group up quite nicely
Nano
for
boosted
him.
Tracer.
Oh, he does go down, and looks like Mighty Storm may be able to get their single point here. It's a lot of kills. Down to overtime already here on point A, but they will be able to capture it. So there you go. 1 point for Mighty Storm. And it's going to be very hard for them to take point B here.
There's a lot of faith in the Tracer to commit to the nano boost onto Jack, but do get the work done in the end as after an early pickoff on Taimu. So now 4 more minutes, but you can see already they are a smaller time bank even if they were to cap immediately compared to Envy.
That's right. Tailspin, one of my favorite early 90s cartoons. But also,
I love
a
that he
great
named
Overwatch
himself that. That's so awesome.
It is good. He's spinning in there. And it's going to be a couple. Gets pinned in the end, but does get one kill. Fellow looking for one here. Onto Coco. We'll see if he can get it. Not quite. There's the hook from Taimu. Oh, he rotates to the back, though. One of those awkward hook moments. And Coco finally gets the kill on him.
There's a little bit of odd clipping through the Roadhog.
Once in a while, that still happens.
I
right?
thought they fixed that.
They
bug.
did for the most part, but you still get it every once in a while. With yeah, it depends. If you're moving forward too, and if it's kind of an angle, it happens a lot more frequently. But it does happen a lot less than it used to. As someone who's played a lot of Roadhog, it feels better now than it did. Yoshi coming in. I think we're going to see that Graviton Surge very soon, probably. Whole hog used, though. They're going to have to survive that first, and they're not going to be able to. Chip Sailing getting the kill onto Yoshi there. Envyus pushing back. Mighty Storm already. Chloe taken out. Time with another kill, and Fellow just hanging out.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Time to creep. Whoop, look, misses.
Yeah, just sitting there waiting for the rest of his team to respond. Does have to use that Ray Foreman back off.
Yeah. By the way, I love the Junkenstein's monster skin for Roadhog right now. The gun and the hook look so cool when you're playing as that skin.
all the Halloween skins are pretty great.
Oh,
though.
they are. They are awesome. Mighty Storm trying to come in again from the high ground. We'll see what they can do. Yoshi getting the back lines. They're going to use the sound barrier as well. Nano boost onto the Reaper as they go after Taimu now, wisely. But this takes Fellow way outside of the fight. Gets hooked, gets taken out. Doesn't even get any kills, man. That's the thing. You nano boost the Reaper, but he uses the entire charge going after one member of the enemy team. You can't do that. You force the Roadhog off to the point anyway. Turn onto his teammates. Make use of that nano boost. Don't just chase him.
Yeah, it's also just incredibly dangerous to chase that Roadhog because yes, you're nano boosted, but he can buy time with that hook while you're in the nano boost state. So it's kind of a bait there by Taimu, and saw Felho eat it hook, line, and sinker, and now they're back to square one, but they have a lot of ultimates to use here. Still an opportunity to take this point. Tailspin, after switching over to May, has the Blizzard available, though.
Mighty Storm setting up yet again, and they are rapidly running out of time. Only one more push after this one. If it fails, maybe not even that. Fellow coming in from behind, protected, or rather hidden by the May wall. Earthshatter comes in as Envyus picks up 2 kills already. Doesn't look like this one's going to work out. Taimu able to hold that whole hog anyway. Hold the whole hog. All right. Internet Hog gets a little bit low on the side. Tailspin does go down, but still just not enough remaining for Mighty Storm to put together any sort of reasonable push out of this.
That looked so good at the start, though. Jack got the initial pick using the Pulse Bomb onto Harry Hook, but they hesitated a little bit after that instead of just immediately taking the man advantage fight on the point. And Felho, as you said, he's holding on. He's held on to his ult this entire time.
Yeah, I mean, both
he's had ult for the last 2 fights.
Both DPSs on Mighty Storm seem very hesitant to use their ults here in fights, and I think that's hurting him. You really got to go ham now. Internet Hulk and the rest of Envyus seem to be ready, though. Taimu pops out a whole hog, and it looks like it's going to be no problem at all for them to hold Mighty Storm. 2 kills coming in, make it 3. And only the supports and Reaper ready to go, and Fellow still has that Death Blossom. He's got to use it now. Gets slipped immediately by Chips. Woken up again, but it doesn't matter. The ult was countered. That is it. They're going to finish him off, and I think they're going to finish off this match in style. As there goes overtime, and Envyus takes it with a clean 3-0, only allowing 1 point the entire series from Mighty Storm.
Yeah, and they were just incredibly ready for that. Felho, what he was trying to do there was wait for the nano boost to come back up, but he waited basically for a 0% to 100% charge from the Ana, which takes longer these days. And then when it actually came, Envy hadn't seen the Death Blossom in a really long time. They knew 100% that it was up.
Yep.
They played around it beautifully. You can see Chips there just on top of the immediate sleep dart into the shutdown.
Wow. They knew that was the only thing that was left, and wow, it doesn't really get much easier than that as far as your first match in a tournament goes for Envyus. And you know, to be fair, they were very well prepared. They come into this one looking as maybe the tournament favorites right right from the beginning, and we didn't think Mighty Storm was going to prove to be much of a challenge for these guys, and they certainly weren't.
No, they were not. But they do have, their difficulty is ramping up, Doa,
Yeah.
over the course of this game as we check out
Little bit.
some quality reaping here.
Yes, he reaped well there.
He reaped quite well. I mean, he basically just kills 6 members. Tyler
Well reaped.
got a couple, but
Bye.
yep.
He shot you so hard, your soul popped out apparently.
Yeah, and
Wow.
Envy's a little bit lucky too because of their schedule. They started with probably the weakest team in this group. They will move on to Conbox T6, which is probably the second weakest team in this group next week. And then the last match, the very last match before the BlizzCon break happens on October 21st, they're going to take on Lunatic High, which is going to be probably a very good best of 5.
That's shaping up to be possibly one of the best matches in the group stages. Well, easily one of the best, if not the best match in the group stages. Should be fun to see after Lunatic High gets back from China. And we are going to take a break, guys. But when we come back, the winner interview, and then we will see our second match of the day, LW Blue taking on Kongdu Panthera. See if Kongdu Panthera can do a bit better in their group after suffering that loss to Reunited earlier this week. But they've certainly got what looks to be a softer opponent in LW Blue. So we will see. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back on Overwatch Apex Season 1 right after this.
Coming up next, Team LW Blue, Team Kongdu Pantera.